Welcome, beautiful soul. Take a gentle breath and arrive fully in this moment, because your presence here is not random. You did not stumble into this message by chance, and you did not pause on it without reason. Something within you recognized a quiet calling, a subtle pull, and that is how alignment often begins. Virgo, you are here because this message was meant to find you, and because something important is beginning to open in your emotional world. There is a calm intelligence to your spirit, a grounded awareness that notices meaning where others overlook it. Even now, part of you senses that this is more than words on a screen. It is a moment of confirmation, a soft signal from the universe saying, "You are seen, you are understood, and you are exactly where you need to be." Nothing in your life has been wasted, and nothing you have felt has been without purpose. You may have been carrying quiet questions lately. Not loud ones, but gentle, persistent thoughts about love, trust, and the way your heart has been treated. Perhaps there has been a feeling that something is shifting, even if you could not yet name it. That feeling is real. An energetic doorway is opening, and you are standing at its threshold now. Virgo energy moves with intention, and so does this message. It meets you here to slow your breath, soften your shoulders, and remind you that your heart is sacred ground. The earth beneath your feet, the steady rhythm of your breath, and the quiet strength in your chest are all part of the same truth. You are not too much, and you are not asking for too much. You simply carry depth. As you continue listening, allow yourself to receive rather than analyze. You do not need to fix anything in this moment. You only need to be present. What is meant for you will land gently, like a familiar color or a remembered scent, awakening recognition rather than surprise. This is the beginning of a conversation with your own wisdom, a reminder of who you are when you are not doubting yourself. And as this message unfolds, you will begin to understand why your heart is not something to be handled lightly, and why every experience you have lived has been preparing you for what comes next with patience, trust, and clarity. There is a quiet depth to your heart, Virgo, one that is often misunderstood by those who only recognize loud emotions. You feel intensely, but you do not rush to display it. Your heart moves like the earth itself, steady, deliberate, and rooted in meaning. While others may fall quickly or love impulsively, you take your time, not out of fear, but out of respect for what love truly represents to you. You observe before you open, you listen before you trust. And when you finally allow someone into your inner world, it is because they have passed through layers of discernment that few ever notice. This is why your heart is so often underestimated. People may mistake your calm for distance, your practicality for emotional restraint, without realizing how much care lives beneath the surface. You love through presence, through consistency, through small gestures that hold enormous weight. A remembered detail, a quiet act of service, a willingness to stand beside someone when things are no longer easy. These are not accidental behaviors. They are expressions of a heart that takes responsibility for what it offers. To you, love is not entertainment, it is commitment. Because of this, your heart carries a tenderness that deserves protection. When you love, you do not do it halfway. You bring your mind, your time, and your energy into the same space, aligning them with intention. This is why emotional carelessness affects you more deeply than you often admit. It disrupts something sacred that you have carefully built within yourself. You may have learned early in life to hold your emotions quietly, to process them internally rather than releasing them outwardly. This does not mean you feel less. It means you feel more, but you choose wisdom over noise. Your heart has learned to survive by being selective, by choosing depth over drama, and meaning over illusion. If you have ever felt unseen in your emotional world, know that it was never because your feelings lacked value. It was because not everyone knows how to recognize a love that speaks softly. Your heart is not fragile, but it is precious. And as this message continues, you are being reminded that what you carry inside you is rare, deliberate, and never meant to be handled without care. When a Virgo loves, it is never accidental. It is not born from impulse, loneliness, or fleeting attraction. Your heart moves with intention, guided by quiet evaluation and inner alignment. Long before emotions are spoken aloud, you are already observing, weighing energy, consistency, and truth. Love, for you, begins as a conscious choice, not a sudden reaction. You do not rush into emotional spaces. You step into them slowly, with awareness, because you understand that the heart is not a playground. It is a place of responsibility. Every feeling you offer is considered, and every bond you form carries meaning. This is why playing with a Virgo's heart creates such deep imbalance. It disrupts a process that was never casual to begin with. You give love when your mind, body, and spirit agree. When alignment is present, you open gently but fully. There is devotion in that opening, a quiet promise that you will show up, stay present, and care deeply. This is not something you extend lightly. It is earned through consistency, honesty, and emotional safety. When someone treats your love as a game, the wound cuts deeper because it violates intention. It is not just heartbreak you feel, but confusion. You trusted the process. You trusted the energy. And when that trust is mishandled, it shakes something fundamental within you. Still, even then, you rarely react impulsively. You retreat inward, seeking understanding before expression. Your heart is built on discernment. You ask questions internally, reflect carefully, and try to understand where misalignment occurred. This is not weakness, it is wisdom. It is the earth element within you seeking stability before movement. But do not mistake this patience for tolerance. Once you recognize that intention was not mutual, something quietly changes. A door that opened with care can also close with certainty. You may not announce it. You may not explain it immediately. But internally, a decision has been made. Your heart recalibrates, learning, refining, protecting itself for what comes next. Because intention, once broken, cannot simply be restored by words. This is why your love is never something to gamble with. It is structured, deliberate, and deeply real. And anyone who meets it without the same level of presence is never truly prepared for the depth of what they are stepping into, or what they risk losing when they fail to honor it. You notice things long before they are spoken, Virgo. A pause that lasts half a second longer than usual. A shift in tone. An energy that no longer feels aligned, even if the words still sound right. This is because your awareness operates beneath the surface. You read between lines effortlessly, sensing truth where others rely on explanation. It is not suspicion, it is perception. You rarely confront immediately, not because you are unaware, but because you are confirming what you already feel. You watch patterns form. You observe consistency or the lack of it. And while others may believe they can hide intentions behind charm or excuses, your intuition is already mapping the reality of the situation. You simply wait for clarity to settle. This is why playing with a Virgo's heart is never wise. You may remain silent, but silence does not mean blindness. It means processing. It means your inner compass is recalibrating, quietly separating truth from illusion. Your heart and mind work together, forming conclusions with precision and care. You do not expose what you see right away. Instead, you give space for reality to reveal itself fully. This is where your strength lies. You allow time to speak, and time, inevitably, does. When inconsistencies repeat, when energy no longer matches words, your understanding becomes solid. There is no drama in this realization, only calm certainty. Once that certainty arrives, something shifts within you. Not suddenly, but decisively. Trust begins to loosen. emotional investment starts to withdraw. You may still be present physically, but inwardly, you are already moving towards self-protection. This is not punishment. It is instinct. Your intuition is not loud, but it is accurate. It speaks through feeling, through bodily awareness, through that quiet inner voice that never rushes and never lies. When you ignore it, you feel unsettled. When you listen, you feel grounded again. And over time, you have learned that honoring this voice is an act of self-respect. Those who underestimate this ability often do so because they mistake your calm for naivety. They assume that because you do not accuse, you do not know. But the truth is simpler and deeper. You see more than you say. You understand more than you reveal. And once your intuition confirms that your heart is not being handled with care, you do not need explanations anymore. You already have the truth you need. When a Virgo is hurt, the reaction is rarely loud. There is no dramatic display, no urgent need to explain every feeling in real time. Instead, something quieter and far more permanent takes place. You begin to withdraw inward, not as a tactic, but as a natural response to emotional imbalance. Your energy turns toward protection, reflection, and self-preservation. You give many chances, often more than you should. Not because you fail to see what is happening, but because you believe in understanding before judgment. You analyze situations from every angle, searching for context, intention, and truth. Yet each time disappointment repeats itself, it leaves a subtle mark. These moments accumulate silently, like small fractures beneath the surface. When the weight becomes clear, your heart does not shatter. It closes. Gently, firmly, and without spectacle. This is the moment many people misunderstand. They expect anger, confrontation, or emotional chaos, and when none appears, they assume nothing has changed. But internally, everything has. Your withdrawal is not punishment. It is clarity. It is the moment you realize that continuing to give access to your heart would mean betraying yourself. You begin to reclaim your energy, pulling it back into a space that feels safe and stable again. You may still be kind. You may still be polite. But the emotional door that once stood open is no longer available. What makes this shift so definitive is that it does not come from impulse. It comes from understanding. By the time you withdraw, you have already grieved, processed, and accepted what is. There is no confusion left, only resolution. This is why returning to the same emotional dynamic rarely feels possible afterward. Something essential has changed. You do not make these decisions lightly. Closing your heart to someone you once trusted is one of the hardest things you do. But once done, it is rarely reversed. Not because you lack forgiveness, but because you have learned the cost of reopening wounds that took so long to heal. This is why playing with a Virgo's heart carries such lasting consequences. You may never hear the moment the door closes. There is no announcement, no warning bell, just a quiet shift in energy that cannot be undone. And by the time it is noticed, the space you once occupied in their heart has already become sacred ground again, protected and at peace. There is a quiet truth that often goes unnoticed until much later. When someone mishandles a Virgo's heart, they do not diminish you. They awaken you. Emotional pain for you is never meaningless. It becomes a catalyst, a turning point that activates a deeper sense of self-worth and inner authority that had been patiently forming beneath the surface. At first, the experience may feel heavy. You reflect, question yourself, and replay moments in search of understanding. This is part of your nature. You want to learn from what happened, not repeat it. But slowly, something begins to shift. The weight you once carried for others starts to feel unnecessary. You recognize where you gave too much, where you overlooked your own needs in favor of harmony. This realization does not come with bitterness. It arrives with clarity. You begin to see yourself more clearly, and with that vision comes strength. The version of you that emerges after heartbreak is more grounded, more discerning, and far less willing to abandon yourself for the sake of connection. This is where your power activates. You stop over-explaining. You stop fixing what is not yours to fix. You start honoring your energy as something valuable, something that deserves respect. What once drained you now teaches you boundaries. What once hurt you now sharpens your intuition. This is not hardening. It is refinement. Many people never realize that by playing with your heart, they triggered your evolution. The loss became a mirror, showing you exactly how much you are worth and how deeply you must honor that truth. You do not rise in defiance. You rise in alignment, calm, centered, and unshaken by the need for validation. There is an earthbound resilience in this process. Like roots growing stronger after a storm, your foundation deepens. You become more selective, not closed, more intentional, not distant. And the love you offer from this place carries a different frequency altogether. This is why emotional games fail with you. They may wound briefly, but they ultimately elevate you. Each experience carves wisdom into your spirit, guiding you closer to the life and love that truly resonate. What was meant to break you instead awakens you, reminding you that your heart was never weak. It was always powerful, waiting for the moment you fully claimed it. By the time a Virgo leaves, the decision has already been made quietly and completely. There is no sudden breaking point, no dramatic exit fueled by emotion alone. What happens instead is a long internal process that few ever witness. You think, reflect, feel, and re-feel until the truth becomes undeniable. When you walk away, it is not reaction. It is resolution. You stay longer than most people realize. You try to understand. You adjust. You communicate in subtle ways, hoping alignment will return. Each effort is sincere. Each pause is thoughtful. But when the same patterns repeat, when respect and care fail to match your consistency, something settles within you. You accept what is, rather than what you hoped it could be. This acceptance is not cold, it is peaceful. It carries a sense of finality that does not need to be explained. You do not leave because you stopped caring. You leave because continuing would require abandoning yourself. And that is a price you are no longer willing to pay. Once this inner decision forms, your energy shifts. You become calmer, lighter, less emotionally available without effort. Others may feel the distance before they understand it. They may sense that something has changed, that access has quietly closed. But by then, you are already standing on the other side of the bridge. You rarely look back with regret. You have already grieved internally. You have already learned what the experience came to teach you. What remains is clarity. The path ahead feels cleaner, more aligned, even if it is uncertain. You trust yourself more now. You trust your boundaries. This is what makes your departure so definitive. There is no emotional back and forth once you are done. You do not oscillate between staying and leaving. The decision was made with care, and therefore it stands with strength. Forgiveness may still exist, but access does not automatically return with it. Those who underestimated the depth of your processing often realize too late that your silence was not absence. It was preparation, and when you finally step away, you do so with dignity, carrying your heart back into your own hands. This is why playing with a Virgo's heart always ends the same way. Not in chaos, but in closure. Not in anger, but in quiet certainty. And once that certainty arrives, there is no undoing it. What many never realize is that playing with a Virgo's heart often awakens something powerful rather than breaking it. There is a moment, subtle yet decisive, when pain transforms into awareness. You begin to see how every emotional challenge has been refining you, not diminishing you. What once felt like loss now reveals itself as activation. At first, the shift is internal. You notice that you no longer react the way you used to. Situations that once unsettled you now pass through with less resistance. Your nervous system steadies. Your thoughts become clearer. You are no longer seeking reassurance from those who failed to provide safety before. Instead, you generate that stability from within. This is where your energy changes. You stand more firmly in your truth, not needing to explain yourself or justify your boundaries. You understand now that love does not require self-sacrifice, and connection does not demand self-erasure. This realization is liberating. It returns your power to you gently, without force. As this awakening unfolds, you become more magnetic, though you are not trying to be. Your presence carries clarity. Your words carry intention. You no longer overextend emotionally, and because of that, your energy feels cleaner, more grounded. You are no longer available for confusion, mixed signals, or emotional games. This is the point where the universe responds. Opportunities align differently. Connections either rise to meet you or fall away naturally. You do not chase. You allow. You trust the quiet intelligence that has always guided you. The heart that was once wounded now becomes a compass, pointing you toward what is real and reciprocal. What once felt like betrayal now reveals its hidden purpose. It redirected you. It refined your standards. It reminded you of your worth. This is not transformation born from anger, but from self-recognition. You did not harden. You clarified. Those who tried to play with your heart unknowingly activated your elevation. They triggered the version of you that no longer tolerates misalignment. And from this place, the love you attract changes. It becomes steadier, clearer, more respectful. You step forward now with a deeper sense of self-trust. Your heart remains open, but it is guarded by wisdom. And in this balance, you rise, not above others, but into yourself, fully aware of the power you carry when you choose yourself first. There is something rare about the way you love, Virgo. And rarity always carries value. Your heart is not abundant in its offerings, but it is rich in meaning. When you give love, it is thoughtful, consistent, and deeply present. This is not something that can be replicated easily, and once it is lost, it never returns in the same form. You may forgive, because your spirit understands growth and imperfection. But forgiveness does not mean access. Forgiveness does not reset the past or erase the lessons your heart has learned. After disappointment, your love evolves. It becomes more selective, more discerning, guided by wisdom rather than hope alone. This is where many misunderstand you. They assume that time, apologies, or familiarity can restore what once existed. But what they do not see is that your heart has already shifted into a new cycle. The version of you that loved before no longer exists in the same way. You are not colder, you are clearer. What returns after loss is not the same open vulnerability. It is a refined presence, one that requires reciprocity, honesty, and emotional maturity. You no longer pour into empty spaces. You no longer wait for potential to become reality. You recognize that love must be mutual in action, not just intention. This does not mean your heart closes forever. It means it protects its depth. The love you offer now is grounded, stable, and aligned. It is not available to anyone who approaches casually. It is reserved for those who can meet you with the same level of care and respect. There is strength in this evolution. Your heart becomes like a sacred object, not hidden away, but treated with reverence. You understand now that your love is not meant to be proven or tested. It is meant to be honored. And anyone who fails to recognize that simply disqualifies themselves from receiving it. This realization brings peace. You no longer question whether you gave too much. You no longer wonder if you should have tried harder. You know that you showed up with integrity, and that is enough. What was lost made room for something truer. Your heart remains open to what aligns, but it no longer repeats old patterns. What you offer now carries wisdom, boundaries, and quiet confidence. And once this version of your love is revealed, there is no returning to what was. You have moved forward, carrying your heart with intention, fully aware of its worth and no longer willing to place it where it cannot be held with care. Now, everything gently comes together. You may notice that as this message reaches its close, there is a calm settling within you, a sense of quiet confirmation. That feeling is important. It is your intuition responding, letting you know that you have been listening not just with your mind, but with your spirit. You were guided here to receive this at the exact moment you were ready. You are standing at the beginning of a new emotional cycle, not one defined by guarding yourself in fear, but by honoring yourself in truth. The lessons you have lived through were not meant to close your heart, only to realign it. And now, with greater clarity, you step forward differently, more centered, more aware, more at peace with who you are and what you deserve. Pay attention to the subtle signs around you in the coming days. Repeating numbers, familiar animals crossing your path, colors that seem to appear more often than usual. These are not random details. They are gentle confirmations that you are moving in alignment, that your inner guidance is active and accurate. When something resonates, trust it. When something feels heavy, release it. Your intuition has been sharpened through experience. It no longer needs external validation. You know when something is right for you, and you know when it is not. This knowing is your protection and your compass. The more you trust it, the clearer your path becomes. There is no need to rush what comes next. Love, connection, and opportunity will arrive in forms that feel steady rather than chaotic. They will not ask you to abandon yourself. They will meet you where you are, honoring your boundaries and your depth. Until then, you are complete as you are. Take a moment to acknowledge how far you have come. Every quiet decision, every moment of restraint, every act of self-respect has led you here. Nothing was wasted. Everything served a purpose, even when it did not feel that way at the time. As this chapter closes, allow yourself to feel gratitude for your heart. It has carried you through growth, healing, and awakening. Trust the process unfolding now. You are guided, you are protected, and you are entering this next chapter of your life with clarity, strength, and a deeper connection to yourself than ever before.